You know, you can't scroll for 5 minutes these days without seeing something utterly wild made with AI video.
Oh, tell me about it.
I'm talking about the one with Bigfoot doing a selfie vlog on a snowy mountain.
Yeah?
So
I
believable.
think I saw that one, yeah.
Or that incredibly sweet clip of the Filipino grandma telling stories that just blew up on TikTok. They look impossibly real.
They absolutely do. It feels like the technology just jumped ahead years, almost overnight. It's stunning.
Yeah, it feels like magic, but, you know, for most creators, marketers, even businesses, getting to that level has been a huge headache.
Hmm.
The cost of the really good models, the complexity of figuring out the tech, honestly, even just consistently coming up with fresh, viable ideas and turning them into the perfect prompts, it's overwhelming. And
Right.
the time it takes, forget about it.
Right. That's the barrier that stopped so many people cold. It seemed like something only big companies or, hardcore tech experts could touch.
Well, here's the news that changes everything, and the reason for this deep dive. Those ultra-realistic videos, the kind powered by Google's incredibly advanced VEO3 model. You can now fully automate the entire video creation process, from brainstorming the idea to getting the final, polished clip using tools anyone can get their hands on, like n8n and fall.ai.
Okay, wow.
But
So not just using the tech, but automating the whole pipeline.
the whole thing.
What's truly game-changing is that this isn't some secret multi-thousand-dollar setup anymore.
Exactly.
The tech that makes those viral clips possible is accessible and crucially automatable. You don't need to be a programmer. You just need the right system and the willingness to connect a few digital blocks.
Exactly. You don't need to be a tech wizard. Think of it less like you need to code an app and more like, I don't know, building with really smart Legos that do the work for you.
That's a good way to put it.
So our mission today is to give you the blueprint. We're going to break down step by step how you can build your own automated AI video factory and gain a massive early advantage in the content space.
It's about creating a competitive edge, right? And
Yeah.
doing it without needing those expensive, like $200 a month subscriptions or complex coding environments.
Definitely. Okay, let's hit those pain points again, the core problem this factory solves for creators.
Sure. So the obvious ones are cost. Yeah, those high-end AI subscriptions or direct API access can easily run hundreds of dollars a month if you're creating at scale.
Big barrier.
And complexity, dealing with APIs, setting up environments, maybe writing scripts. It just felt out of reach for a lot of people who aren't developers.
And like I said, the creative grind.
Mm-hmm.
Consistently generating original ideas tailored to a specific niche day after day.
Yeah, that's tough.
And then the even trickier part, translating that idea into the incredibly specific, detailed, often quite lengthy prompt that a model like VEO3 needs to produce something good. That's a huge creative and technical hurdle.
It really is. It's time-consuming, intellectually demanding, and then you still have the manual workflow. Thinking of the idea, crafting the prompt, submitting it, waiting for it to render, downloading the video, organizing it, maybe adding captions. That whole chain just eats time.
Time nobody has if you want to be churning out content at a competitive pace.
Exactly.
But the big news is that VEO3 technology, the one behind the virality, isn't just available anymore. You can automate the entire workflow using tools like n8n.
Precisely. And that's the significance. It levels the playing field, or rather, it tilts it heavily in favor of those who adopted this system early.
That's a system.
It's not about having access to secret tech. It's about building an efficient process that runs itself. That process can be creating content while you're focused on marketing or sales or even sleeping.
An automated content engine.
Okay.
So what does this factory do? What makes it so powerful?
Oh, think of it as exactly that. An engine. It's designed for scale, designed to run continuously.
Like a tireless creative machine.
Pretty much. And the benefits unlock that crucial advantage. It can generate dozens of fresh, niche-specific ideas every single day.
Dozens. Wow.
Yeah. It takes those ideas and automatically writes the perfectly structured, detailed prompts that VEO3 needs no more guessing or manual prompt engineering for every single video.
So it handles the creative concept and the technical translation into the prompt. That's huge.
It does. And then it automatically sends those prompts off to generate the actual videos. Once it's set up, you don't need to manually initiate each creation.
Wow. Just videos appearing.
Yeah. And something critical for scaling. It automatically tracks and organizes everything.
Oh, okay.
The original idea, the exact prompt used, the status, and most importantly, the link to the final video file are all logged in a central database, like a simple Google Sheet.
Okay, that organization is key. You absolutely need to know what's working, what you've made.
Absolutely. It's your content library being built automatically.
Right.
And if you want to go full automation, you can easily add steps to automatically upload those videos directly to platforms like YouTube Shorts, TikTok, or Instagram Reels.
So it's like idea to prompt to video to
Right.
published, potentially on full autopilot.
That's the end-to-end system you can build.
Okay.
And we're already seeing concrete proof this works. Those faceless AI accounts you see exploding in popularity.
Yeah.
Some have gained hundreds of thousands of followers, and you look closely, they've often only published like a dozen videos.
You mean like 200,000 followers from 11 videos? That statistic blew my mind when I read that.
It shows the disproportionate impact, right?
Right.
Leveraging AI for scale and consistency when you have a high-quality output.
Right.
And if you just glance at Google Trends, searches for things like n8n automation or AI video generation are showing this massive surge in interest.
Oh, wow.
People are starting to catch on to this competitive edge.
Yeah, the demand is clearly building. But you mentioned accessibility earlier.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to be a programmer to build this. What's the actual toolkit required?
No, you really don't. That's the best part about using visual automation tools like n8n. The toolkit is surprisingly simple.
All right, hit me with it. What do I need?
First, you need an n8n account. It's a visual workflow builder. Think of it like connecting puzzle pieces or digital Legos, like you said, to build your automation sequence.
Okay.
They have a free tier and a trial that's perfect for getting started and building this exact factory.
Okay, n8n. Got it. Visual tool.
Then a Google account for Google Sheets. That'll be our simple, easy database to log everything the factory produces.
Sheets is straightforward. Check. Easy enough.
And then a FAL.AI account. This is your connection point to VEO3. They act kind of like an Uber Eats for AI models, making it easy to access powerful models like VEO3 via a simple connection
Oh, okay.
without needing to set up complex infrastructure yourself. You'll need to add some credits to your account to pay for the video generation itself.
Okay. FAL.ai connects me to VEO3,
Mm-hmm.
and that requires credits, like pay as you go.
That's right. You pay per video generated through their platform, which we'll talk more about costs later. And honestly, the final tool is just a basic comfort level with using simple no-code interfaces. If you've used something like Zapier or maybe built formulas in a spreadsheet, you have the core skills needed.
So no heavy coding needed at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's a relief for a lot of people listening, I bet.
None. And the great news is the AI automation communities out there often share pre-built n8n templates for exactly this kind of workflow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can usually just import a template and then customize it. The goal here is to understand the architecture so you can tailor it to your needs.
Okay, let's talk about that architecture. You framed it as a 3-layer system, like an automated assembly line.
Exactly. It helps to break it down into 3 logical stages or layers.
What's layer 1?
Layer 1 is your creative brain. This is where the system handles the brainstorming and the initial strategic work. It's the part that generates fresh ideas based on your niche or goals and then structures those ideas into the format needed for the next stage.
Okay, so it handles the thinking and initial writing. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
And layer 2?
Layer 2 is the magic factory. This is the engine that takes the structured ideas from layer 1 and actually produces the video. It connects to VEO3 through FAL.ai, sends the creation request, handles waiting for the video to be ready, and retrieves the final result.
So layer 1 decides what to make, layer 2 actually makes it. Okay. And layer 3?
Layer 3 is the librarian. This is the organizational layer focused purely on record keeping. It takes all the outputs, the original idea, the specific prompt used, the status of the creation, and the final video link, and neatly saves it into your Google Sheet.
And the librarian layer is crucial because
Well,
you will lose track otherwise, right?
Exactly, because without it, you'd quickly lose track of everything. It's essential for managing your growing content library, reviewing what was produced, tracking performance later, maybe seeing which prompts work best, and avoiding creating duplicates. It turns raw output into a usable asset library.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. So if we're building this in n8n, what does this 3-layer framework look like visually on the canvas? Give me the simplified steps.
All right, let's walk through the core sequence. It's basically a chain of nodes, as visual blocks that represent these layers.
Lay it out for me. How does it start?
Part 1 is setting up layer 1, the creative brain. You start with a scheduled trigger node. This is just the on switch. You tell it when to start the process, like maybe you run every morning at 8 a.m., or you can trigger it manually whenever you want.
Okay, that node kicks everything off, the starting gun.
Right. Then you add your first AI node, let's call it the idea generator. This is where you tell an AI model, using a system prompt, the kind of ideas you want.
Okay.
Think of the system prompt like giving the AI a job description. You are a content strategist creating viral short video ideas for a Yeti vlogger who posts about mountain life, something specific.
Oh, okay.
You then send it a user message, which is a simple request, like generate one idea for a video concept.
So the system prompt sets the context. The user message asks for the output for this run.
Exactly. And importantly, you tell this AI node to output the idea in a structured format. Not just a random sentence, but specific data points like the core concept, maybe key elements for the visual, a suggested caption. Using JSON format is common here. This structured output is key for the next step.
JSON. Okay, like organized data, we've got a structured idea. What's the next node?
Still in layer 1, you pass that structured JSON data to a second AI node, the prompt crafting agent. This agent's job is highly specialized. Take the simple idea data from the first node and turn it into the very specific, detailed format required by VEO3.
Ah, the prompt that VEO3 actually understands and needs.
Yes, its system prompt is meticulously designed for VEO3. It describes the needed elements like scene descriptions, character details, but crucially, without naming specific characters, VEO3 has rules about that, like character limit, actions, environment, maybe dialogue, timing, even camera lens suggestions.
Wow, that's detailed.
Yeah, and it tells the AI exactly what format the final prompt should be, and often a single, dense paragraph within a specific character count range, and maybe things to avoid, like certain styles.
Okay.
The user message here is simple, something like, create a VEO3 prompt based on this idea data, and you insert the structured JSON from the previous node.
Got it. Layer 1 is idea, structure, friend, perfect VEO3 prompt. Makes sense.
Correct. Now, part 3, we move to layer 2, the magic factory. This involves a node that sends the perfectly crafted prompt to fall.ai to access VEO3. In n8n, that's typically an HTTP request node,
Okay.
which is just how your workflow talks to another service over the internet, like placing an order online.
Okay, placing the order for the video. I like that analogy.
Exactly. You configure it with your fal.ai API key for authentication and send the VEO3 prompt generated in layer 1. Fal.ai receives the request and queues up the video generation. Now, generating an 8-second video currently takes time, maybe 10, 12 minutes.
10, 12 minutes. So the workflow just waits. It doesn't time out.
It does wait. You add a wait node right after sending the request, telling your workflow to pause for, say, 12 minutes to be safe.
Okay, pause button.
Exactly. Once the time is up, you add another HTTP request node to check back with fal.ai and retrieve the result of your request. If the video is ready, that result includes the URL for the finished video file, usually an MP4.
Ah, so the second request collects the completed video link once it's done rendering. Clever.
Precisely. And finally, part 4 is layer 3, the librarian. You use a Google Sheets node, you tell it to connect to your specific spreadsheet, and you usually set the operation to append or update row.
And this is where everything gets saved neatly.
Yep. You map the data from earlier in the workflow, the original idea concept, the full VEO3 prompt that was used, the status like success or maybe an error message, and that final video URL into the columns of your spreadsheet.
And that centralizes everything for management, tracking, seeing what worked.
Okay, walking through that, it does sound manageable, even with a few steps.
Yeah.
What about the output quality, like that Bigfoot or Yeti example? What does the video actually look like?
So the output from VEO3, accessed via fal.ai in this way, is an 8-second video clip. And honestly, the realism is, it's uncanny sometimes.
Really?
Yeah. For that Yeti vlogger idea, the video you get often has incredibly accurate lip sync for the short dialogue, realistic fur movement, environmental details like falling snow, the quality of firelight if that was in the prompt.
Yep.
It often looks professionally made. It's genuinely difficult sometimes to tell it's pure AI.
That's what blows me away about those viral clips. They just look so real. Okay, let's talk about the practical side cost. You mentioned fal.ai credits. What are we looking at, realistically?
Transparency is key here, yeah. As of right now, June 2025, generating a single 8-second VEO3 video via fal.ai costs roughly $6.
For 8 seconds. Okay, that feels a little expensive initially when you just hear the number. It might sound that way, I get it, but you have to look at the value in the alternative, right?
Right.
$6 for a unique, tailored, high-quality, ready-to-publish video clip is significantly cheaper than paying hundreds a month for premium direct AI access subscriptions, or far, far less than hiring videographers, actors, maybe licensing high-end stock footage for something this specific and unique.
Okay, that framing makes sense. It's value against the traditional way of creating unique content, or even against those high-tier AI subs.
Exactly. For testing the system, you could load maybe $30–50 onto fall.ai, generate 5 to 8 videos, and experiment. See how it works for you.
Right.
For a serious creator or business, you think about the ROI. If one $6 video goes viral and drives thousands in sales or builds significant audience, that cost is negligible in comparison.
That's a good point, the potential upside. And I assume these costs are likely to come down pretty fast as the tech matures.
Almost certainly. We're in the very early stages of public access to this level of quality via APIs like this. Historically, computing costs for new technologies drop rapidly as they mature, and competition increases. I wouldn't be surprised if that $6 price point looks high a year or two from now.
So even at the current price, it enables an incredible scale of unique content that was previously impossible for most people.
If you have a content strategy, yes, it's a powerful lever. It lets you test more ideas faster.
You mentioned extending the system to auto-publish. How does that work once you have the video link logged in the sheet?
That's the beauty of building on a platform like n8n. Once you have the core workflow generating videos and logging them in your Google Sheet, you simply add more nodes to the chain.
Okay.
You can add nodes that connect directly to the APIs of YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram Reels.
Wait, so it can actually upload it for me directly to the platform?
Yep. You can configure it to take the generated video file URL from your sheet, maybe grab the caption you generated earlier, add some standard hashtags, and upload it directly. You can even add scheduling nodes to space out your posts automatically. Maybe post one video every day at 10 a.m., or integrate nodes to track engagement metrics back into your sheet for analysis later on.
That's full content automation right there, from idea to published, potentially.
It is. The path to a truly end-to-end automated content machine is very achievable once you build this core generation and logging system. It's just adding more steps to the assembly line.
So who is the system really for? Who should be looking at building this right now? Who gets the most benefit?
Well, I think it's perfect for several groups who want that early advantage we talked about.
Like who?
Content creators who are feeling the burnout of manually creating videos but need to increase output significantly to stay relevant or grow.
Yeah, I can see that. Less grind, more output.
Digital marketers who need a consistent stream of fresh, high-quality video content for clients across different niches. Imagine setting this up for multiple clients.
Powerful for agencies.
Social media managers who want to maintain a vibrant, visually stunning content calendar with less manual effort. Keeps the feed fresh.
Entrepreneurs or startups building a brand presence too. Seems ideal for them.
Absolutely. It's a powerful way to create unique, engaging content quickly to capture attention and maybe even showcase that they're using cutting-edge tech. And honestly, anyone who is just curious about the practical application of cutting-edge generative AI.
Just to learn and experiment?
Yeah, because, as we've said, n8n's visual interface makes it accessible without deep technical skills. It's a great way to get hands-on.
Okay, zooming on to the bigger picture. Why does mastering this right now matter so much? Why the urgency?
Because we are at a foundational moment, I really believe that, in how content is created and distributed. AI video isn't just a fun new tool, it's a fundamental shift.
You think so?
I do. The ability to generate unlimited, high-quality visual content on demand changes everything about online media, attention, advertising, the whole ecosystem.
Feels like a pivotal moment, yeah. Like the early days of social media or something.
It really does. And the individuals and businesses who take the time to understand and implement these automated systems today, right at the start, are gaining a massive, almost unfair advantage over those still creating video the old-fashioned way, or even just manually using AI tools.
So it's about building the system now.
Exactly. By building the system now, you're positioning yourself at the forefront of this content revolution.
So it's not secret tech. It's just leveraging powerful, accessible systems early, before everyone else catches on.
Precisely. Those accounts with explosive growth aren't using unattainable magic. They're using efficient, organized, often automated systems built on tools available right now. They just committed to learning and building before it became mainstream.
Okay, I'm sold.
Yeah.
So what are the actual first steps for someone listening who wants to build their own factory? Let's make it actionable.
All right, action time. Step 1. Get the tools. Sign up for an n8n free trial or community account. It's easy to find online. Sign up for fall.ai and get your API key so you can connect to VEO3. Put some initial credits on there.
Step 1. Tools acquired. n8n fail.ai Google account.
Step 2. Find a template. Look in AI automation communities, online Reddit, Discord servers, forums. Search for n8n AI video generation workflow or n8n VEO3 fail.ai. Chances are someone has already shared a starting template that does exactly what we've described.
Find a blueprint to work from. Don't reinvent the wheel entirely. Got it.
Step 3. Import that template into your n8n account and configure it. This means connecting your Google Sheets account, plugging in your file.ai API key. This is where you link the pieces together visually in the n8n interface.
Connect everything up. Make it your workflow.
Exactly. Step 4. Test and experiment. Start small. Don't try to generate 100 videos on day one. Load a small budget onto fell.ai, maybe $30, $50 like we said, and run the workflow a few times. Generate your first few videos, see how the system works, how your prompts translate to output. This is crucial for learning.
Test before you scale. Makes sense. Learn the ropes.
Right. And step 5. Customize and scale. Once you've seen it work, you understand how the prompts affect the output. Maybe you tweak the system prompts for the AI idea generator or the prompt crafter, and you're getting results you like.
Yeah.
Then start refining those AI system prompts to match your specific niche or brand voice. Then you can start increasing your production volume. Maybe run it daily.
It sounds like it's actually within reach.
Yeah.
Not some sci-fi dream.
It absolutely is. The future of content creation is here, and it's automated and intelligent. Don't wait for these tools and skills to become standard knowledge, because by then, that massive early adopter advantage we talked about will be gone.
Yeah.
Start building your AI video factory today and position yourself as a leader in this rapidly evolving landscape.
Every expert starts as a beginner, right? You just got to start somewhere.
That's right. Your journey begins with building that very first automated video. See what happens.
All right, that feels like a concrete plan. As we wrap up this deep dive, just take a moment to consider what the sheer ability to generate high-quality, unique video content on near autopilot truly means. Not just for marketing or making money, but for creativity itself, for storytelling, and for capturing attention in the coming years. How might this power fundamentally shift? Who becomes a viral star? What kind of stories get told? Or even how we consume information? Just ponder that for a bit. It's kind of mind-bending.